Are you an athlete looking to get to the next level and make that jump to finally find the right university for you and get noticed by tons of colleges out there? Well, you came to the right place. Nice to meet each and every single one of you. My name is Nico Schultz, 800-meter runner at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, and I'm entering in my 4th collegiate season ever. And I gotta say, I never thought I'd even be inside of college. Now, to give you guys a quick backstory on how I got to college, my junior year was when COVID hit back in 2020, and then entering the 2021 track season, I was still contemplating if I wanted to be a football player or a track athlete. Unfortunately, I had to quit football because our football season got pushed back to the spring season because of COVID. And so I had to choose between track and football, and ultimately I chose to pursue track and field full time. And because of that decision, I ended up putting all my effort and full time into track. I broke the 600-meter Illinois state record, and then I finally got noticed and then got that dream offer that I've always been dreaming about, planning about. And I finally made it into a college. And before that offer, I actually wasn't planning on going to college at all. I told myself if I wasn't gonna go D1 in track and field, I wasn't gonna go to college and all, and I just begin my working career right away. But God had other plans for me. I ended up doing amazing things, and I got noticed because I ran a really fast time. But that is actually gonna lead me into my first talking point on fast times / excellent marks do not go unnoticed. Now, before I broke that record, I actually had a PR of 154 in the 800. And I got a call from a college coach. It was a JUCO coach, and he said, listen, this mark's good, but you're not gonna get noticed by any D1, Big Ten, SEC, ACC universities at all. They're not gonna notice you with that mark. Simply, it's not fast enough. And then the following week, I run 119 in the 600. And then immediately after the race, I had 4 college coaches immediately text my phone. It was Iowa, Penn State, University of Illinois, and the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. And it was crazy because beforehand, I couldn't get a hold of nobody. I was sending emails left and right. Nobody would care until I ran that fast mark and I broke that record. And it was just because I ran under the time of 120 indoors. Now, my time or my mark doesn't relate to a lot of you other athletes. Some of you guys might be other sports. Some of you guys might be different events. But this all holds true, which also leads me into my next point of putting things into perspective and view the current athletes at that university and what their marks are looking like. If you look at their marks, right, and you see that your marks, your times are pretty close or pretty similar to that, you could probably bank on yourself getting a decent sized scholarship to that university, and that the coaches would want to bring you on to the university. Because if you think about it, at the end of the day, this is all a business, right? The Big Ten, the university, the NCAA, it's all a business on how they can bring in you to the university and how you can generate more money by putting up successful marks, beating other universities, and ultimately scoring at the conference meet. That's what this is all about. The only reason that they're going to bring you on to their university and their roster is if they believe that you, as an athlete, can score for them at the big conference meet. And as I said before, different sports calls for different things, but for track and field and for my thing, it's like, okay, we see that Nico ran a 119 in the 600. We see that score is on average 5th to 6th place every single year. We can develop him into a 117 to 116 guy. Bam, he could place top 3, top 2. And that could be the difference of our university winning a Big Ten conference championship and generating more money so that we can recruit even better athletes in the future and overall become more successful. And you also have to remember too, that you need them a lot more than they need you. I mean, there's so many people who want to be in that position, to be getting that dream scholarship, that want to put in that work and that want to be noticed and put on the uniform and go out there and compete and have that opportunity, because people dream about this their entire lives. And less than 1% of high school athletes get the chance to perform at a D1 level or any college level in that matter, right? So you just got to realize that this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and you have to take it very seriously, because it can all be taken away just like that. And this opportunity to go and perform your athletic sport and get that degree on top of that and meet the people that you'll meet within these next 4 years, they're going to determine the next 60 years of your life. And I truly do mean that. And not a lot of people do believe in college, but there's such a short window and time period to be successful within a college sport. It goes away just like that. I mean, you have the rest of your life to live and make money and do all these different things, but to go and be a part of a team one last time and have an opportunity to, perfect your craft and get to that next level, it's so short-lived, and I definitely would not take that for granted. Which leads me into my third point. If you do want to take this thing serious, you have to, market yourself. You have to market yourself, especially in this new day and age of NIL and the way that social media has absolutely taken off. there's no reason as to why you shouldn't be DMing every single college account that you want to go to. You know, whether it's a track program, softball program, football program, DMing their account with your times, your marks, you as an athlete, emailing their coaches, following them, keeping up with their current statistics and everything that their university is doing. Try to get noticed at all, at any means necessary. I'm not sure if this would hold true nowadays, but back in 2018 and 2019, when I was really trying to get noticed, I created an Instagram account, and it was called Nico Schultz Athletics. And I would post all of my workouts, all of my marks, and all of my times, my personal records, everything that I was doing. And I would follow every single university that I wanted to attend to. And then next thing you know, I get an email back from the University of Nebraska saying that they've noticed me throughout this Instagram account. And although at the time they didn't offer me, it got me in their radar, got me in their system. Like, okay, this guy Nico, we've heard a little bit about him. We've seen his social media work. We don't know if we want to get him. And it wasn't until I hit that mark, bam, that's right when they found out, okay, this is our guy. We want to send this guy an offer. And then that's how it all went down. And like I said before, fast times get noticed, but at the same time too, if you could be a situation to where your grades are really good, but your marks and your standards aren't up to par, you could walk onto that team. And if you put in the work and if you dedicate yourself to it, you can become a scholarship athlete. I've seen guys at my current university who came in as walk-ons and ended up walking out of there with scholarships. And it works like that. It just all depends about how much work you want to put into it. And you have to start thinking like a collegiate athlete as well. If you are performing on a really high level and you know that you belong at a collegiate university, somewhere that's top tier, you have to start carrying yourself and acting as if you're already there. Control your mannerisms. And I'm not saying become cocky. You always want to remain humble, but you have to conduct yourself in a professional manner, because this is, like I said before, a business, but at the same time, it's a mini professional sports team. These athletes are getting paid. These athletes are being able to perform in the Big Ten Network on TV. I mean, there's so much that goes into this too. And so if you want to make things easier upon yourself, and if you want to go in there and be a top performer, conduct yourself in a professional manner. When you're speaking to these coaches, be respectful, be humble. Tell them about what value that you as an athlete are going to provide to them at their university. That's the best advice when it comes to that. And that leads me right into my fourth point of outwork your competition and realizing the system. As I mentioned before, this is a business at the end of the day. You're going into their business to help them generate money. Out of it, you are getting a degree and you are being able to compete and train with some of the best athletes in the entire world. And that's what Division I sports is. And the quicker that you realize that, the quicker that you're going to be able to realize that you have a chance to get recruited. It all is based upon you. It's based upon your performances. It's based upon how much work you put in, and really just how bad you want it. And that was the mindset that I had. It was an all or nothing mindset. I was waking up at 5 a.m. to go on recovery runs in the morning, and then afternoon practices, I was going and doing speed work with my speed coach, and then after that, lifting. And I would come home and email college coaches. And I was doing this, knowing that there's a chance that everything could not work out. I could put in all this work, and it all might not work out at the end of the day. But all that work does not go unnoticed, and I promise that you will have a home for you. Even if you do end up going JUCO, there's guys that come out of JUCO and they become national champions. There's like a Troy Airy from Penn State. If you don't know that name, look him up. He's a D3 to D1 project that came out to be the best in the entire NCAA. I mean, that it's so rare for that to happen, but it's possible. And that is NCAA for you, man. It doesn't matter where you go. It matters about your mindset and what you put into it and what you make out of that opportunity. You can go to the most, profound Division I school in the entire world, in the entire nation. But if you don't put in the work, and if your mindset is just trash and you're just partying 24/7, you're going to end up falling to the bottom of the food chain. There's guys that I know who were absolute beasts in high school, who were state champions in high school, ranked within the top 5 consistently year in, year out, from their freshman year to their senior year. And as soon as they got to college, they got comfortable, they got complacent, and they could never reach or better what their high school marks were. And so basically those college coaches bet on these athletes to come in and perform and put up specific numbers. And then the athletes had something different in their mind. They said, all right, I'm just going to use this as a get out of jail free card and just kick my feet up and get a free degree out of it. And next thing you know, they're not in the team no more. They got kicked out, or they found a loophole to get them out of the system. You don't want that for yourself. You want to go in, you want to put in that work, and you want to prove to those coaches that they made the right decision betting on you. And as I mentioned before, leading into my fifth and final point, that make sure you're off the track antics in your grades, and that the coaches have no reason to think twice that choosing you was the best decision in the world, because that's what you're trying to convince them of, right? You're trying to convince them that them choosing you is an amazing choice, that your grades are going to be spot on, that you're not going to get in trouble off the track, and you're going to go show up, put in your work, and get out and be a good student athlete. And although, yes, I agree, have fun, control where you can control, enjoy your college experience. Just don't go too crazy now, because at the end of the day, you are there to perform on that track or whatever sport it is that you do. But that is all I have for you guys. This has been Nico Schultz. And if you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments and I'll do my absolute best to get back to you guys. But this is a best of luck to you and your college search. And don't stress too hard about it. I stressed for numerous hours on end, and then one race ended up changing it all for me. So don't stress. Whatever is meant to happen will happen. Just make sure you type out those emails and make sure that you do your research and find out the university that is best for you. Peace out.